Wacky Wednesday.
When you go to McDonald's, it's usually for a good time, but that's not always the case. From toothpaste and dildo-shaped toys to temporary tattoos comparable to Nazi symbolism, we count 20 of the saddest Happy Meal toys ever. Number 20. Ronald McDonald Mask. McDonald's often produce toys based off their mascot, Ronald. One of the most creepiest toys, the Ronald Mask, you could say rivals Chucky and Freddy Krueger. Apparently, kids all over America were saddened to learn when opening up their Happy Meal to find a very boring, useless cardboard mask with grease from the food all over it. Although the so-called toy was disappointing, it was just the beginning of the saddest Happy Meal toys ever. Number 19. Hammerman toothpaste. This one is actually from White Castle, not McDonald's, although it had to be included because it was just ridiculous. Yes, they actually did swap out a toy for a tube of toothpaste. Hoping to balance the negative publicity associated with its unhealthy menu, they decided to endorse healthy brushing. And who better to represent the dental cause than hip-hop superstar MC Hammer? In 1991, this grape-flavored Hammerman toothpaste served as White Castle's kids' meal toy, disappointing kids all over the country. Number 18. Finding Nemo jellyfish. Now, most adults' reaction to this particular Happy Meal toy is usually, what the f***? It's supposed to be the jellyfish from the Finding Nemo movie, but something is very, very wrong about this toy. Most people can't decide which is worse, the purple-colored shaft or the weird-looking head. Parents complained that it looked similar to a dildo, and were mind-boggled by how such a toy could be approved. Number 17. E.T. poster. Posters aren't necessarily a bad thing, but a poster that comes in a Happy Meal might not be a good idea. And here's why. First, it's going to come all folded up in the Happy Meal box. Second, it's going to sit next to the fries and soak up all the grease. But all in all, not the worst thing, at least the first time round. See, McDonald's did this promotion twice. First when E.T. was actually in theaters, which obviously made sense, and then again 3 years later in 1985, which made no sense whatsoever. People suggested that McDonald's probably just had a shitload of posters left over from the first time. Number 16. Madame Alexander. The 2008 marriage of Ronald McDonald and Madame Alexander just sounded like a disaster. Most horrifying is that this wave was all based on The Wizard of Oz. Exactly why is unclear. It's not like The Wizard of Oz suddenly became popular or relevant in 2008. So kids had no idea what it was. Not to mention the thing is utterly terrifying. McDonald's basically saying, here, have a nightmare with your McNuggets, kid, and when you get home later tonight, try not to have nightmares. Number 15. Popoids. This McDonald's toy from 1984 came in 4 versions, each with 2 bendable plastic tubes and a single connector. And since it wasn't possible to build anything interesting whatsoever with just 3 pieces, so parents were forced to buy Happy Meal after Happy Meal just to satisfy their little rugrats. And by the time the kids had enough tubes and connectors to make a masterpiece, McDonald's had already moved on to a new set of toys. Number 14. Michael Jordan Fitness Fun. Yes, a fitness-themed Happy Meal may sound worse than a McVeggie burger, but throw in a stopwatch that didn't work and a frisbee with Michael Jordan's face on it and you've got yourself a whole lot of plastic with one Michael Jordan sticker on it. Even parents around America thought their kids were shortchanged with this one. Number 13. Nature's Watch. Back in 1991, McDonald's introduced the Nature's Watch Happy Meals, a series of toys to help celebrate Earth Day and to get kids out of the house and away from the TV for a while to enjoy the beautiful canvas that is the outdoors. But unless your child was an avid gardener, which, let's face it, most kids aren't, this toy wouldn't have lasted 5 minutes before ending up in the trash. But obviously some people did hold on to them because you can still find them on eBay for a good price. Why would you pay? Number 12. McDonaldland Airport. This is a good example of how Happy Meal toys suck when they're about McDonald's. Honestly, these things look like they belong in cereal boxes, and even then, they'd be a serious disappointment. They consisted of one piece of plastic shaped into a plane and nothing else. This toy is sad because it probably was a last-minute order from McDonald's, and we think it shows. Number 11. Clone Wars. Perhaps the best example of a movie tie-in gone terribly wrong. These action figures featured the heads of Star Wars characters on the bodies of Star Wars battleships. What the fuck? McDonald's has included these figurines on multiple occasions. This more or less forced countless parents to explain the sad matter of how and when Luke Skywalker became an amputee. Number 10. Karaoke Disco Fever CD. Now the next few toys on this list, including this one, are not actually from McDonald's. This was a Wendy's kids meal toy from 2010 and was a major fail for two reasons. First and foremost, children were not particularly fond of disco music. Second, parents were not particularly fond of the fact that Donna Summer's song Last Dance included the song lyrics, "I'm so horny." So with that, parents all over America complained that this toy was pretty sad. Number 9. Fall Apart Rasputin. This was a Burger King kids meal toy that was offered as a tie-in with the 1997 Anastasia, in which the Russian mystic was cast as the villain. Pulling the figurine's arms out made his head pop off, and pressing a button put it back into place. Parents complained that this toy was a little too grisly. Not to mention history buffs found it insensitive, given that the actual Rasputin's death is one of the most gruesome in history. Number 8. Happy Feet 2 Round and Sound. This was actually another Burger King kids toy. You would spin the wheel in the center of this Happy Feet glacial freebie, and the film's title character yodels the same short tune at varying speeds. You can imagine a restaurant full of children operating this broken record plaything is sure to make any adult's head explode. It was a very basic plastic toy that had one plain Happy Feet sticker on it. We're guessing they didn't spend too much time creating this one. Number 7. American Idol MP3 player. This 2007 McDonald's toy seems to have been designed with maximum parental annoyance in mind. You see, this flimsy plastic iPod knockoff plays one, yes, just one short tune, the American Idol theme song, over and over and over again. So basically, it wasn't really even an MP3 player at all. All parents hated it, although someone like Ryan Seacrest probably loved it. Number 6. Nutritional books. In an effort to end all fun, McDonald's started giving away books with Happy Meals instead of toys. The 4 books that were written to promote healthy eating included Deanna's Big Dreams, shows how Deanna, the world's smallest dinosaur, grew tall by eating well. So pretty much the opposite to eating at McDonald's. So with these books, kids can now learn how many calories they just consumed faster than ever before. Number 5. Halloween pails. While the Halloween themed pails aren't so bad themselves, they actually serve a function. Supposedly, when these came out as Happy Meal toys, it was nowhere near Halloween time. Children all across America said they sucked even more because they didn't include any type of prize like candy. Kids opened them up waiting to see what was inside, and they got nothing. Imagine explaining to your young child that they have to wait 6 months for Halloween before using the damn thing. Number 4. Glove puppets. This is one of McDonald's first Happy Meal toys. The glove puppet was really just a plastic bag featuring a terrifying picture of either Ronald or one of his mascot pals. In addition to being a suffocation and choking hazard, the lame giveaway is downright terrifying. Not to mention kids all around the world were sad to learn that there was no actual toy within their Happy Meal. Instead, a plastic bag. Number 3. Stepometers. In 2004, McDonald's released the Go Active Happy Meal. designed with the health-conscious adults in mind. The box included a salad, water, and a booklet of exercises. But wait, don't most people go to McDonald's because they don't care all that much about exercise? In place of a toy was a plastic pedometer called a stepometer, which counted your steps. Too bad the only steps taken were from the restaurant back to the car. Number 2. Swastika temporary tattoo. Instead of, would you like fries with that? It should have been, would you like a Nazi party symbol with that? Swedish chain franchises assumed yes. In 2011, a swastika tattoo was included in every kids' meal. While chalked up to be an error by the Chinese company that made the temporary tattoo sheets, parents were outraged that no one at the fast food chain had even bothered to glance at the so-called toy. Number 1. Bag of weed and smoking pipe. Okay, so obviously this is not an actual everyday Happy Meal toy, but it did turn up in one unlucky kids meal. You could definitely say this Happy Meal ended up in the wrong hands. Discovered in 2007 by an 8-year-old girl from Chicago, the pot, along with a lighter and pipe, led police to arrest a young man and soon-to-be former McDonald's employee who needed a place to put his stash and considered a stack of Happy Meal boxes kept to the right of the drive-thru a good hiding place. While the bag of weed and smoking pipe was not technically a McDonald's toy, it did end up in one poor girl's meal. You cannot deny this has to be one of the most saddest Happy Meal toys ever.